The interior of the apothecary smells like herbs, chemicals used for cleaning. Terrible things happened here once long ago, but since then it's been a place of mending for the people who survived all that's happened to the town. The table beneath where you're sitting is cold, firm, Shalati. You see Ava?
Shalati, I'm so sorry. The results are back and you are the evil twin. I'm just trying to match the music.
Shalati looks at Ava and then closes the door without ever actually stepping in.
Ava has sent for, this is sometime over the course of the 20 days, either well before the egg hatching, and having sensed that there's something just seemed a bit off, Ava sent off and tried to ask for Shalati to make some time to come see her so she could give her a quick checkup. And I guess, yeah, so she's there in the clinic. Getting everything.
This is probably fairly early after, I guess, most people have broken their fast. They would have done her morning rounds, exercises, ate, and then gone over to the apothecary to see Ava. She knocks once, but doesn't actually wait for an answer before she opens the apothecary door and pokes her head in, looks around, and then follows with the rest of her.
Ava looks up from the papers she has around. She has her garb on, a bit of a lab coat type thing. Was often used by. It's still her lab coat, not the other one, which she's not yet touched since his passing. Hearing the knocking, she sort of looks up and gestures Shaladian as she continues looking over sheets. She's like, "Oh, come on in. Come on, take a seat."
She does so, but raises a quizzical brow scale, as she doesn't have eyebrows, at Ava and says, "You said something about tests, but I don't really understand."
Well,
I'm not very good at tests, you know that.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't. I mean, it's not that kind of test. And she puts the IQ test aside, shelving that. I know. I was like, I just noticed. It seemed like you aren't exactly 100% ever since we had that encounter, and I just wanted to sort of use this opportunity to go ahead and give you once over and like just I need to update the file anyway. Probably it's been a while.
There's a bit of a pause at this before she summons up, not a smile exactly, she's not really a smiling person to begin with, but just a nod and a little bit of a shrug. Says, "It was probably the hairiest fight we've ever been in, certainly."
Oh,
What do you need to do?
Well, there are a few different stages for it. So we'll do the physical, and I'll just sort of give you a once over to just look over everything, and then I'll take some fluids, and those will take some time to actually run before I get any of the results from that. And then there's the mental check-in, just to sort of make sure that everything seems okay there. So it's pretty comprehensive, but obviously whenever we do these, they're entirely private, and the only person that knows about it is me and your file, of course. So Yeah, it will only be us. So she's trying very hard to mimic embody the role that she's now found herself in and still struggles with it sometimes.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and have a seat. And I'm just gonna sort of check everything over. And she's gonna just do a physical exam, sort of look over all the different places, any old wounds, look for scarring, do checking of different sort of joints and adjustments. The same thing that most people would expect in sort of as a physical at any doctor's office.
when she does the knee tapping reflex thing, the leg jerks out and accidentally ends up kicking over a barrel that's on the side and had like, I don't know, maybe a bunch of bandages and shit inside. She's, oh shit, sorry. Like,
Nope, nope, that was on me. That was good, good. That's very healthy. I'll pick that up afterwards. Don't worry about it. Um, okay. So, if assuming she doesn't find anything, I think she would find of particular interest the I don't know how they've healed up, but the places where the tentacles, I think, went inside Shalati. Um, and then yeah, afterwards she just uh, takes a little bit of fluids of
I just
different types.
realized that that phrasing was really unfortunate, dude.
Oh, I- sorry. Um, so yeah, she'll do the other thing and take fluids, and then the last one is just the psychological, where she'll sit down and just sort of talk to her, and she's gonna ask her just a few questions about how she's been feeling and how she's coped with things since then. Like I know you talked about seeming like you had some fog or some mental um, mm, challenge, I think, like immediately after. I just wanted to see if that's cleared up and just I'll let you start and then I'll ask questions from there.
Yes, I think the day after whatever it was that you did to help clear my head on that first evening after the fight, that helped a lot, and having some sleep and a little bit of rest, getting back home, helped with the rest. I haven't felt that fogged up since then. No, really. She can like sort of rolls her shoulders a little bit as if like trying to test everything and sighs for a little bit and says, I mean, everything sucks, but it's kind of the way things are right now.
Hmm. What do you mean by that?
Ava, Vashka,
No, I mean I know
don't pull
like
that Tourette crap with me.
no, I know like obviously there's a lot of things that went on, but like mm, I definitely think sometimes when I wake up about all the stuff that's happened, and it does kind of like weigh on me sometimes, but I don't feel like everything sucks, at least, not all the time. We still have got, you, and for better or worse, my sister, and like, I mean, so that's what I mean by like trying to understand what you mean by it, because I wanna I wanna hear your words. Why why you think it sucks.
There are small joys that remain. Seeing Aster and Amaru still be able to laugh and still able to run around and have fun. They still cry at night sometimes, because their mama isn't here. But at least they have some. I can tell them that she was away at the tower and she wasn't here. So many people were gone, though. And the one that I thought was gone, but is, but is not. I mean, what would you do if Wesley turned out to still be around somehow?
Hmm. Well, I don't I don't really know, but like, I, I don't think it would change much for me, I guess. Maybe it would give me some hope that I might actually see him again at some point, knowing that, like, there's more possibility of that, like a real possibility, but I still think about him sometimes, but I don't. I stopped wanting to, like. He's he's just gone, and I guess I'm sad sometimes when I think about different things that might happen, like a stupid fight with like Lee, or just we do something and I think about, he might have really liked that. But when I think those things, I mean, I guess really get as I don't get sad as often. I just kind of miss him a little bit, but I I don't know. I don't think it would change a whole lot because it's just, I guess I accept it at this point and know that there's nothing to like be done. Like, I wouldn't want to bring him back even if I could, because that's just the way things go. We are around and we're alive, and then at some point it's over. And that's how things are supposed to be, even if that's not always easy or fun. But yeah, knowing that he's around somewhere, I think it would just sort of make me happy that some part of him, I guess, is still in existence, but it just doesn't change.
Swati suddenly slams her fist down on the table that she's sitting on, or the examining area, and says, "That is bullshit, Eva. How could it not change everything? We know now that there's something, but also that things are wrong there. Ishtalan is there, and she's alone. There's nobody there with her. You and Seyfried crossed over somehow to there, so there's a way to get back, and that changes everything."
I don't know. It was, it's a really, it's not something I guess that I can really think about a lot because um, I thought, I thought I was, I thought that I was dead, and I don't like thinking about being in there, and I remember some of it, but, um, like, I don't. I'm. I can't. Uh, you know what? You're right. I. Yep. It does. I guess it changes things. And okay. Um. Yeah. That makes sense.
She's been breathing very slowly uh, and deeply through all of this, and her gaze sort of fixed off at a point just a little bit above and to the right of Ava's head. And she doesn't really seem to react too much visibly, expression wise, to Ava's stuttering and sort of retreat. And until she says, "Look, if I am upset, and I think it's obvious why I'm upset, and things were getting better for a while, and then they suddenly got very much worse very quickly, and everything that we knew changed. Everything. At least everything I knew. And I am dealing with it as best as I can. But the waves had gotten smaller, and I thought I knew how to swim, and then now we are in the middle of a storm, and I am hanging on because what choice do I have?"
Well, you don't. You don't have to. You don't. You're not the only person trying to tread water, and I think that other people can help. Things can help, and I don't want you to feel like you are out there by yourself. Um, and that you're the only thing that's keeping your head above water. Um, I mean, I wasn't. Sorry, this is not professional.
She softens a little bit at this and does reach out to take Ava's hands. This is knowing that I'm not alone is probably the only reason I am still able to keep moving. I would not be here if it weren't for the fact that there are others. And she looks off to the side again, her expression softening for a moment, and says, as if to herself, "The little ones at least need me. What remains of my family." And she looks back at Ava and says, "And you, and the others in our years, the rest of town. But everyone has their own problems. We are all going through this shit, and we don't. It would not be useful for everyone to be breaking down all the time. And I am managing it." So she squeezes her hands and says, "I am grateful that you are my friend and that you want to help me. And I ask you, is it really meant to be? Do you think that things just die and that is just how it is? Even in the face of the world shaking itself apart? North itself changing? All the laws and rules that we have known for our lives unraveling?"
It's there's a lot that's changed. Most everything, I guess, but I think that's one of the only things that, to me, hasn't um So, like, um, I did some reading over the past couple of years about stuff, and um, kind of have this little philosophy, I guess, of cobbled together from what I read, and it's probably not worth trying to describe all of it, but like basically the difference between the gods and us is immortality, and it's sort of like the defining line between us and them. And from everything I've ever seen, whenever we try to do something to affect that, it ends badly. Like all the stories say it ends badly. And I don't want you to like take this too much, but like I have this ability to kind of know where that line is, like when somebody is in the sort of liminal space between being alive and before they pass on. And I have a small ability to kind of affect it, but I can't do anything with that. I think that's, I think that that's a way that gets people in trouble. I think that's, um, it's like the only thing that I know that hasn't changed is that if I mess with those things, I think bad things will happen. And so,
But
yeah.
something has changed. Whatever happens afterward seems like something there changed. So if someone is on the edge now and they go, where do they go to? Do they, is that right?
I I didn't really actually think about that. Maybe you're right. I mean, I don't, again, it's really like hard for me to think about that time. Cypher might be a better person to talk to. She might remember it better, but from what little I can kind of remember, maybe you're right, and maybe something's wrong over there, but maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that because it's really scary. And it's not something, it's like really scary. It's like more scary than anything I can describe to you here. Like, in the entire time when we were fighting that thing in the water, I was never a fraction as scared as I was when we were in that other place. And like, if something's wrong, I don't know what, I don't really want to try to do anything about it right now. So I don't know.
Then maybe don't think about it anymore right now. But I think it's something that we maybe should think about at some point. Not today, maybe not tomorrow. But I keep feeling like keep feeling like after the chicken, when the summer went, and we had time that was actually, it was horrible, but it was also sort of peaceful. We were rebuilding the wall. We were training. Lost you, both you and Esmond, to your various works. But it felt like there was something bigger coming on the horizon. It's an enormous wave just coming toward us, and I don't feel like it has quite broken yet. So I think it will come to us at some point. She still has hold of Ava's hands, and she just releases one, holds it between the other, and then like past the top of it, and says, "I think I have to go help with some of the arms training. But maybe, I'm sure Ray will tell me if I passed your tests or not."
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like, I don't want to promise some more than, like, I could keep, but, if we can talk about it more maybe later, and if something's wrong over there, um, I, I will do, I'll try to help as much as I can for you and for anyone who's over there. And if you just promise to, keep trying to take care of yourself here in the meantime.
If we do ever end up having to go to the other side, promise I will be there to take care of you.
She smiles a little weakly, sort of takes her hands up and wipes her eyes a little bit. Small bits of tears that sort of formed but didn't quite fall, maybe. And nods. Okay, well, I'll let you know about these things and see if anything weird comes up. And, yeah, go ahead and just, you can pack up. And then she sort of thinks to herself, realizing that she doesn't actually need her to do anything. And she pauses with her eyes closed and sort of a couple steps away, and just seems to focus. And as Shalati is preparing, getting ready, she attempts to sense any type of illness or something, having completely forgotten that she might have the ability to do such. So she opens her senses. Go ahead.
Oh, Charlotte probably gives her an ample amount of time to do this because she goes to the barrel that she had accidentally kicked and sets it upright, begins to put the rolls of bandages back in.
Okay. Yeah, she'll sense, and then afterwards, depending on whatever is found, she moves on to help
I'll
her.
go from there. So, yeah, as Ava closes her eyes, maybe has a hand on Shalati's shoulder. There are glass jars and vials on the shelves of the apothecary that begin to rattle and shake. One of them falls, breaks on the ground, and you start to feel the tremble under your feet. It's certainly not the first earth shake that's come to Shepherd's End, but as it grows, it becomes more and more. The strongest one you felt in months. Not long after the tower first appeared. It grows wild and violent, more so than you're used to. Another bottle falls on the ground. You hear a crashing sound outside of the apothecary. You hear the sound of a scream. The ground jerks beneath you so hard that it almost knocks you each over. But you manage to catch your feet as it begins to subside.
Oh my god. Are you okay?
I think Charlotte is instinctively, at first she ran to the shelves to try and keep the balls from falling over, but then when it got really bad, she sort of hunched over Ava and like tried to drag them below a table, and she might have a few minor scrapes from the jerking and the shaking and shattering glass, but she seems fine otherwise. There's a look outside and says, "There was a scream. I'm going to," and she just runs out the door, tracking it down. After checking to make sure that Ava isn't injured herself.
Yeah, David's like, go, I'll catch up.
You run out into the streets, and there's the general din of confused and frightened people in the town. You can see that a couple plumes of dust rising upward, a few small pillars of smoke. But down the street, you see a large building, and it had already been burned out during the attack on the town, but it's collapsed inward. You can see someone frantically trying to dig, pull boards and pieces of stone. So trying to dig someone out.
Slutty immediately runs that way on seeing it and puts a hand to the effort, holding up, any beams or anything that might be needed.
You run to help, to get there, and you can see as they're trying to lift a beam that's too heavy, you manage to help and lift the board, crash to the side. And there in the rubble, you see it seems to be two automatons who work on the building. One of them certainly gray, the other one you can't even recognize. They've been smashed beneath fallen wood.
Husbandly unhappy to see this. And she kind of gingerly touches them, but has no idea what to do for them. Thinks about calling Ava and is like, mutters, "No, I don't think she would know what to do with this either."
And
Yeah.
running down the street behind her, Ava has the sash that she's pulled over her shoulder, sort of running towards the wreckage, picturing in her mind that people have been hurt somehow. So she runs up behind. Okay, let me see who's. She looks around to try to gauge the carnage, seeing, I suppose, only the automaton.
Yeah, and it's the one of the you hear the grinding metal gears and what had been reasonably smoothly moving joints, just mangled metal. You can see the remains of it seems to be is that a kick me sign on the back of one of them. There's a jittery motion, and the gear grinds to a stop.
Oh no. Is there any life left in the head of any of these?
You don't even. Who knows? This is
okay.
This is an Nesman question. Another scream from down the street draws your attention.
I think Charlotte would tell someone, "Go, maybe collect the pieces and take them over to the Clockwood Heart. I'm sure Esmond will want to see them eventually." And then she's going to take off for the next scream.
Wait up! And she...
Yeah, Ava takes that. A few days later, there's a knock at your door, Esmond.
I cover up my project, step out from behind the curtain I'm working on. Is Gwen there? Is she working on the door jam?
Not in that moment.
Okay, walk out and open the door.
Ez. You wanted to see me?
How many notes have I sent out this week? I guess? I don't know. I don't remember sending a note.
Why are you locking your door? What took you so long? Can I come in?
Yeah, sure. And he'll lead the way in and start going and lighting additional lanterns to give the space more light.
In the workshop, you see the remains of 2 automatons that are crushed.
You see a mess in the workshop. There are 4 separate workstations with various tools and scraps of metal and blueprints scattered across each workstation. Although one of them is covered that you cannot see into it.
You've been busy.
Between all the stuff that we need to get ready for, and with those two becoming absolutely decimated, yeah, I've got my hands full.
Casey kind of wanders over and picks up one of the pieces and looks at the damage on it. So, what is it that you need?
I don't know. Just time, I guess. I haven't had time to address the automatons yet. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to get everything together as much as I can.
You haven't seen he kind of shuffles a couple other pieces of the automaton. You haven't seen like a mirror on a stick, have you? It's kind of maybe this long or so. It can extend out, but I'm not sure where I put it.
No, but this would be a particularly bad time to lose something in the workshop, because it's going to be whatever it is, unless it's a specific tool or item that's being used. It's going to be buried or forgotten somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, keep an eye out for it if you will.
Sure, I'll do what I can, I guess. Are you good?
Yeah, Casey's kind of been wandering around the whole time, and he's kind of like distracted looking at something else. Have you noticed Charlotte acting weird around me?
I mean, you guys were acting a little strange before we left for the coastline some time ago, and both, I don't know, I didn't have an opportunity to say anything.
No, like after the fish.
I've been in the workshop almost the entire time, so not really. And also, I was kind of shell-shocked, I think, after the fight, and he takes his prosthetic hand, just kind of starts rubbing up near his neck, and you see a very clean-looking but defined grayed out scar across his clavicle and neck, where one of the sharks from that battle had gotten him. Yeah, I'll be honest. I kind of got stuck in my own little headspace on the return trip, and then since then I've kind of been here. So no, I know that things seemed weird before the coastline events, and then I haven't really seen anyone since then. Why?
I mean, no reason. It's just something I might have noticed.
No reason, and that's why you're asking about it?
So that egg. This
I
is
should mention,
post. Is this
these
post
seem-
egg hatching?
these scenes are kind of ambiguously throughout the
Okay.
thing, so it's not specifically.
So maybe egg hasn't hatched yet. Okay.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, things have been kind of crazy. We're training Bobby, Sal, and I over on the obstacle course.
Yeah, and just in your spare time, asking if anyone has noticed anything about Shalati?
The bird teleported. I think Sal showed him how to do it. I haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm working on it.
The bird teleported.
And spit acid. I'm pretty sure Shalati showed him how to do that.
I gotta start asking for a newsletter or something when I am stuck in this workshop, because everything just seems to happen when I'm not around. I guess that's okay. That's good, I guess, right? That makes her a a stronger companion.
Yeah, and I mean, soon we'll have 2.
We got to get rid of that thing.
But
No, we got to get rid of that egg. Someone's got to convince Sal to put it back.
But what about your projects? He kind of goes over to the covered guy and holds it up just a little bit to peek.
Esmond will not stop you necessarily, but definitely seem uncomfortable at the prospect of you looking further into it. That is it's a personal project at the moment. That one's kind of a shot in the dark, so to speak. I'm not sure about that one yet.
Lightning dynamite. Soon? Yeah?
Between myself and my mom, yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Good. I mean, if you want to take a break anytime, or still been working on the shadow play in the evenings mostly, so if you have time to come on by and help out.
Probably not tonight, but I'll try to squeeze in maybe a half hour or so to just get myself out of here. Yeah, maybe next couple days. I'll try and make that happen.
Good.
In the meantime, if you are concerned about Shalati, the best person to ask would be the source.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that.
Just a thought. Just, mind your manners. That's just mind your manners with her.
I always do, he says as he's opening the front door to leave.
Exact face that he makes as you're walking away, just.
And he pops back in. If you do come around for the shadow play, bring your A game. Not trying to throw any shade, but
I'm too tired for this. Leave.
Let's see. Array, I see a question in your channel.
Is that a Coca-Cola?
I love Coca-Cola.
So do I.
You do not understand how much I'm like, I made my choice. I chose chocolate.
No, trust me, I can sympathize.
I still have a Coca-Cola in my house that Patrick left here last year.
And I still miss it.
It's waiting for you.
Okay.
It'll probably be
Warm, flat.
You'll have to. That'll be what you have to bring down. For the Ren Fair. Just throw in your
You
bag.
joke. I will make sure it happens.
Excellent.
Okay. Jumping to the present. It is the 38th day of autumn. Where'd you guys put Egg Girl?
What?
Through the portal, I think.
What? No! I'm snuggling her. Well, I mean, okay, so
Excuse you.
are we skipping past her hatching and going straight into some other stuff? Or are we picking up at she hatched, we're all there, there's a fucking bird person.
Let's tell you what. Let's go ahead and pick up right there.
Yes! Yes, please.
do
Bird
Were
you-
you just
person!
fucking with us because that's ridiculous?
Can I get the skinny on the bird person before we launch into like where we left off?
Oh, yeah.
No.
People were gathered in the tavern having a meeting, and Bryony came in. Seemed real shy, but managed to indicate that something was going on with the egg.
Brienne?
Sure. Bryony, if that's how you say it. Everyone calls her Bryony, though. It's just, you're close to the
Oh my
water.
god, Chris.
DM is God.
Everyone running to the workshop, Kibeth's workshop, where they saw the well-decorated egg beginning to hatch. And from it, eggs cracks and out pops out humanoid, dinosaur, bird, woman, about your age looking.
Our age. And then he wanted to do a time skip. You were joking, right? Like you can't just time skip after this being appears. Then
I was gonna
not
time
explain.
Wait.
skip you a few hours so you could have a conversation, but we can
We
do
time
it.
skip so that she's our best friend.
We can go right into it.
we need
Yes, we have to go right into it. I'm invested in the egg bird girl.
we need Shalati's line to get us back into it.
Oh yeah.
Chris, I would like to request one additional day for my projects. I have one extra project. I would like to dig a shallow grave.
You don't need a full day for that.
Sounds good.
We have a cavern of like, don't go there.
Yeah, and I can move dirt. Like I can excavate 5 feet of dirt in 6 seconds. Totally doable. Like just like that. Chris, what was your line? I can't remember the one we ended on.
I believe it was
Excuse me, but what the fuck?
Yes.
It's a chick.
Jesus Christ!
I poke it.
Is
Is
that
she
your
is she
word?
live?
Yeah. Glassy eyes.
I'm holding her. She's like passed out, right?
Yeah,
I believe
glassy
Salinger
eyes.
had also put his cloak around her so that she has like blankets. She's covered
Yeah.
up.
We immediately wrapped her. But
Okay,
what
so
does she do, Chris?
she's wrapped, she's coddled, and apparently Kabeth is poking her with a stick.
Please tell me what she
Tell,
does.
tell me when you're ready for a description. So her glassy eyes have searched the interior of the room, newly born, wild, fearful, curious, and then exhausted from the act of breaking free from the shell. She's passed out. Ray his arms as you put blankets over her. She's all covered in the mucus and fluids of the egg. Charlotte.
A query. Is Poppy in?
Is Poppy in the room? Probably just right outside. Probably had followed Salinger.
Should we cover her like that? She looks to Shalati, who's been on farms for a long time.
You're the person. You've been at a few births, so I think you would know better.
I mean, not for eggs. They've all been really small, like chickens, and you don't cover. Out of character, correct me if that's wrong. You don't cover chickens.
The mother covers the baby chicks in her fluffy, fluffy feathers.
Oh, she does?
Yes!
Oh, okay. Yeah, my character would know that then. Okay, totally cool then. I'll retcon that. That was something Patrick has no idea about.
Just some more.
Maria has significantly rolled bad animal handling in all her history, so she doesn't really fucking know what to do with birds.
Just some warning. Real life knowledge is not reliable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. Well, while everyone is covered, Ava will start to, like, try to check over this mucusy creature.
Okay, Ava
I
crouches
guess
down to do that. What's everyone else doing?
What do you think bird people eat?
Ooh, worms.
Well, I guess she's
I
kind of
mean-
Oranakus. Like,
Charlotte kind of like tries to see what the teeth are like as Ava is examining her. Or
Just let her sleep. She's been through enough.
Seifert is like totally nosing in, just like looming over, not saying anything, just observing everything.
It's okay, she's pretty unconscious. I don't think she notices.
Shalati, is you, you kind of join those gathered around, kind of push up the, basically the upper, like, lid. It's essentially, like, similar to the mouth of, a person, but the skull slightly elongated. Some aspects of the dinosaur there. And, you can see that there are fully developed, sharp teeth beneath.
looks like she eats meat.
Casey whispers to S. She seems kind of reserved for having just come out of her shell.
Do you think she's like a queen ant, so to speak? Or do you think she's just some sort of bizarre, less survivable aberration?
What if our taking care of the egg changed the egg?
Oh, like imprinting before ever even hatching? I like it.
She is mucusy. I guess she would take after Ez.
Charlotte is gonna wander off into the house to see if she can find some towels.
I mean, the egg's been in my shop for quite a while. She's been around satyrs. She doesn't seem very satyr-like to me.
And doesn't this all come down to those? Y'all remember those footprints? There were some that looked like Aranaka, like big feet like Poppy, and there were some that looked, I don't know, if I recall, a little bit like she kind of nods toward the female or the young woman egg person. I think maybe it's I know, like I've been saying, it's not chickens and bigger chickens, it's chickens and ducks. It's a different species of thing.
It's definitely not a duck.
But the Aranakis that was looking after her was truly a creature, not a humanoid.
Maybe the Aranakis is like a werewolf.
Maybe she came through by accident. Fell through that cut in the world or whatever it is.
I mean, Poppy's been a bird the whole time.
If she isn't an Aranakis, then why would the Aranakis be taking care of the egg? Do you think she's like an imposter? Do you think it knew?
Like a cuckoo.
My thoughts exactly.
Poppy pokes her head in the door at the sound of her name and swallows down the apple that she stole while you guys were distracted.
Oh, but you have a sister.
Parents? Poppy, you're real smart and all, but I think this person's a person. And Poppy, smart as she is, I think there's a difference here. I think she's a person.
I mean, she
just hatched. We don't know how smart she is yet.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like, are we gonna have to teach her language?
Maybe she's like half Arnakis. Like the Arnakis. That's probably not a good idea.
How would that work?
It could. It was an egg.
You're the expert, Ava.
Hunters get lonely.
I think Shalati has come back out now with a stack of towels that she probably requisitioned from one of Kibeth's sisters. And then just goes back to where the egg girl is unconscious and basically like just pulls out the occasional limb and is just gonna like start very gently wiping her off so that she's not so slimy. And says to Kibeth, maybe we can build the fire in here and make it a bit warmer. Or if you want to take her, does someone have a spare bed? So she can actually sleep somewhere that's, I mean, no offense, Aurea, but you're very skinny. I'm sure you're not as comfortable as a bed.
We can set her up at the Wanderlust. We've got plenty of extra beds there.
That's what I was going to suggest, that we have a friend with a literal inn, and my house is
we have plenty of extra beds at the Wanderlust. There's
we should probably
50 people
keep this
there.
thing away from other people.
I got the vibe that Shalati's family had moved out a little bit because they moved out to the Maiden Temple, and there was just Ash hanging around still. So I thought we had newly vacated beds.
My brother's room is, I guess, empty. I mean, we could, if maybe we should clean her off. Well, I don't know. We could put her up there. It's not like
we shouldn't leave her alone.
He's there. He's not. Well, she won't be alone. I mean, we'll find one of my sisters to stand guard or somebody else.
I mean, if we can confirm that she is not, that she doesn't have the appetite of an Aranakis, then
we'll just leave a pile of food at the bed.
I think there's some more information to gather here before finalizing sleeping arrangements, but certainly we can make room for her somewhere if she's personable.
Well, I mean, she can't stay on the floor by Forge. She's kind of in the way of working.
Yeah, I'm fine taking her in. We've got all kinds of strays of the Wanderlust these days.
We are not taking this thing to the Wanderlust.
This thing is like a girl is. You know,
this thing might just be
lots of empty buildings now. I mean, the old Kinvard house. It's been empty since Imagine Kinvard disappeared. There's none of their cousins have wanted it.
Why don't we just move her there with some people to help take care of her then?
Let's wait till she wakes up. Who knows? Maybe we can even ask her. Maybe she looks, I don't know, same height and size of us all. She's not an infant. Maybe she can talk.
I would be very surprised if something that just hatched possesses command of language.
Well, I'm very surprised by most of these things that have been happening to us, Ava.
I've been reading
Been a
books to
surprising
her.
couple of weeks.
Maybe she heard me when I was reading books.
Charlotte just leaves at this point and just quietly just gets up and moves out now that hopefully she's been wiped down and she's not sticky. And yeah. She'll
Beth, do you
just
have
leave
like a
it to the
spare
rest of the party.
tunic that you don't fit in anymore now that you're super muscly?
I'm sure we can find something in the house. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Casey follows Charlotte.
And hand-me-downs are extra soft.
Would you stop treating this thing like it's a baby? This creature, whatever this is, hatched from an egg from an invading reptile species that tried to kill us and nearly destroyed the town.
But it's
Don't
an
say
innocent.
invading like they did it on purpose. They're just animals.
Yeah, also, this
This
one's
thing might
literally
not
in
be
an
any
egg.
different, is my point. We should
We
put
should-
it away somewhere away from the rest of the town. Somebody can watch it, and then once it wakes up, we can interrogate it and see what it knows.
If
You
it
shouldn't
were,
judge something by its point of birth. It's absolutely ludicrous to think that something is born evil.
I'm not judging its point of birth. I'm judging that I'm judging from the perspective of trying to keep this town safe, to make sure that we are all safe. We don't know anything. We know nothing about this creature or the Aranakis, really, for that matter. So this is two factors that created this creature, and now here it is, just lying on the floor of this forge. So
okay, but Esmond, we do know that animals and people alike, that virtually all creatures suffer if they're improperly socialized. I'm not sure that the safer bet is to isolate this humanoid that cracked out of an egg before we can assess anything one way or the other.
I'm saying let's move it into an empty building so one or two people can watch over it, and once it wakes up, then we can begin asking if it can even speak. But in the meantime, we need to move it out of town until we can truly assess it, because we don't know what this thing is capable of or what it could possibly attract after hatching.
I mean, what safer place is there than literally guarded by the predominant population of capable combatants?
Our town is a wreck, and it's still not fully recovered after what happened. We're in no shape for anything to invade us. I say we just take it to a building on the outskirts of the town. Somebody can watch it there, and then we can figure out what to do.
What if we compromise and bring it to where Vethedrian's staying? There's plenty of space in there, and he's more than capable, I'm sure, of handling the new baby.
I'm sure Vethedrian won't try to shoot it like he did the great Ornakas.
Hang on,
Maybe
hang
we
on.
should not tell him yet.
I contributed to bringing this egg back, and I feel responsible for watching over the thing that came out of it, regardless of what stage of development it's in or what it is. I don't think it was just born. I don't think we should be moving it across great distance until we know that it can be safely done both for it and for us. Let's put her upstairs in a room that a door can be shut. We can make sure that it's comfortable when it wakes up so that it doesn't hopefully freak out. And we'll put some food nearby and we'll make a plan. But there are more of us here now. Better to stay where those of us who are around can get to the area quickly if something goes wrong, rather than somewhere remote. If something goes wrong and there's only 2 people, then somebody gets left behind to watch what's happening or some kind of danger. There's too much risk in that as well. I understand what you're saying, Ez. I do. I get it. If this thing escapes and it's dangerous, then yes, we put the town at risk. But I do think that there's also danger to be said about putting it somewhere remote right now until we know more. So let's just put it upstairs and shut the door and...
Yes,
I think we should
but
at
not
least
shut the door. Just
At least do it until she wakes up. Until they wake up, whoever it is. We shouldn't be moving them. What if they're hurt or something? That's right.
She's not hurt. She's fine.
We should bring this person upstairs and keep an eye on it here. I agree with Beth.
Maybe Ava can come up with something that we could give her to put her to sleep in the case in case we need to.
I mean, I can keep her asleep. You need me to sing to her? I got it. Peach out of character has sleep as a spell, and if that HP is low, I can just keep her asleep.
No, we don't want anyone interacting with this thing. Just
what?
Okay.
Says you.
Let's put it upstairs. Let Sal guard it from a distance. And once it begins to stir and wake up, he can summon us all back and we'll figure out what to do from there. I'm going back to the workshop.
Fine. To be clear, I don't think a crowd of us around, well, as she looks down as we stand around in a crowd around her, this sleeping figure on the ground, I don't think waking up and then having a crowd of strange people is maybe the best route for first contact.
True, but someone should be around. I don't think we should just leave her in the room with the door shut.
No, let's do shifts. That way not everybody's staying at Cabeth's house all the damn time. We can do 2 folks.
There's extra space anyways.
Okay. Who wants to stay with her first?
I can.
I can do it too. If she wakes up and she's causing trouble, I can make her go back to sleep.
Well, I just have some reading to do, and I figure, if she needs any sort of help or healing or anything, being born seems hard. So
I've got work to do, so I'll just be right downstairs in the forge, and if you need some muscle, you know where to find me.
I can hang around today too.
Now that you guys have all the mucus and shell pieces cleaned off, a little just a reminder of the description. Basically humanoid. The skull, the head slightly longer than a typical person, eyes slightly bigger. There's a very predominant ridge of bone that goes up the nose and kind of to the forehead and flares outward a bit. Sharp claws on each of the fingers. There are 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. There's also a long bone that comes out from the elbow like a blade. And there are tracks of vibrant feather, just like an Orionacus, but it goes down the back of the arms and kind of off the elbow, along the back and stuff like that. Still kind of drying and probably dark right now, but if it's probably, you would assume when it dries, very vibrant in color. Kind of like
Well, I guess we need some muscle right now, because we gotta move her upstairs. You probably can.
she's
I can
not
take care of
she's
it.
light as a bird. Fails at even getting her legs underneath her.
I probably have it probably on my own.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so before too long, you guys have taken her upstairs in Cabeth's workshop, put her in a bed, like the house.
Yeah, in the bed of one of her brother's rooms.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and she just seems to be sleeping. You can breathing clearly alive. Who's still down while they're going up to do that? Who's still down in the workshop? Okay, yeah, you see Poppy comes in the room, and sniffs around, and approaches the egg. Let's see here. She just kind of gets climbs up inside. You just hear her eating, whatever stuff.
Salinger would have something to say about that.
It's probably good protein.
No. It's probably true.
You do find some large pieces of shell that have kind of not been broken. They're still decorated with all the drawings the kids put on there.
The shell, I imagine, considering the difference between, say, a chicken egg and an ostrich egg, I can only imagine that an egg the size of a person is like incredibly sturdy.
Yeah. It's texturally probably very much like a chicken egg, but yeah, much thicker. Sturdy.
Are they like gross, or were they protected by a membrane?
Oh, yeah, there's like the actual shell itself, especially the parts that are still structurally part of it are, yeah, definitely separated. Some of the stuff, like, whatever, mucus and stuff, poured out over it, but...
Okay. Cypher's not going to mess with it right now, but material notes for the future.
Waste not, want not.
I mean, if the maiden gives you like a gargantuan egg, then
Mm-hmm.
Make an omelet? Wait.
Yes. Now you're thinking.
Oh, no. No, there's no egg to make an omelet with. Shield? No. Helmet? Yeah.
I mean something like, I'm sure that something big enough and hard enough could also damage the egg. At the end of the day, it is still just an egg. But like, I don't know. With some eggs that are large enough, you need like crazy machinery to crack into them. It could be useful.
Really pushing for this egg.
I mean, if we can make a little corkle for halflings or gnomes.
We could make shields, or we could, I guess, carve out pieces and whittle them into things like blades and such, potentially. I don't know. It seems like an interesting raw material.
Shatterproof dishes.
Ooh. A china set.
These are the things that Cypher is considering while she watches in mild disgust as Poppy eats the remnants of the mucus inside the egg.
Outside, you hear the town's single cow losing its mind as usual.
The single
It
cow.
senses its impending doom.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Did Shalati and Casey, did they do anything after they left?
Oh my gosh, Doc, just boundaries.
Such an inappropriate question.
Did Shalati and Casey leave? Like, did they go somewhere? I might have missed that.
Casey followed Shalati out.
Yeah. Oh, did you not see my message in the character chat?
Sorry, no, I did not see that. Okay, yeah. So,
Can I actually do a little, I guess, vignette of what that looks like?
yes. I guess the question is, does Casey want to talk to Shalati on the way there? Or what's... Casey was following Shalati, right?
Yeah, but not like subtly or
just
anything. Like he just
but
jumped to
going
catch up with her, essentially. Yeah, he wasn't
Sounds
like stalking her or anything.
All right, yeah. Okay, you arrive at the... Sorry, my question is this. Shalati's going somewhere to do something. Are you going just to go do that with her, or are you trying to have a conversation with her, like, before you get there? Do you want to do a scene on the way there, is really my question.
Not necessarily.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, after some moments, you arrive at the old Kinvar house.
Shalati glances sidelong at Casey as he jogs up and says, "Go find some extra blankets. The mattress is probably still there, but I'm sure all the blankets got filched for everyone who's still around. I will the fire and see about dusting things out. And she opens the door and ducks inside. And she's going to set about making, preparing one of the rooms.
Blankets. Right.
Oh, and she sticks her head out and says, and a lot of the smoked fish, I think. She's a predator of some kind, and maybe we don't want to feed her our narcissus, so, fish it'll have to be.
Blankets for the egg girl. And fish, yes. Casey goes running off.
And I think for the next hour or so, without having heard anything from the others, she is going to, beat out the dust in the old mattress there and, sweep out the room and build a fire and make it all nice and cozy. And then, presume at some point, Casey comes back and she's just, waiting for the others to come along with the hatchling to lend her them.
Yeah, Casey comes in with an armful of blankets and kind of a pile of fish on top of that. Plops it down on the bed there. Looks around the room a little bit and she's like, yeah, cleans up pretty nice, huh?
That's cozy. I feel like old Gunvar was always pretty conscientious about that stuff. I think she probably chose a windowless room and one with a door that opens outwards so that they can block it from the outside if needed. But there's nobody in there right now, and the windows have been thrown, or the door's been thrown open to layer it out a bit from the must. And then she just falls quiet and does not attempt to engage Casey in conversation at all.
Yeah, Casey kind of lingers a moment, nodding, and so so a girl came out of that egg. It's kind of weird, huh?
Not the weirdest thing has happened, but it's pretty high up there.
But I mean, she looks grown, like our age.
That part is very strange and maybe makes me think that...
How did she get in
Was it
that
Aurea
egg?
who said? When a mama bird lady and a papa bird lady like each other, sort of.
Shilati.
One of them goes into heat, presumably, or maybe they don't. I don't know how their biology works.
Casey kind of takes a step forward. I know how heat works. And you can kind of feel the warmth of him.
Shilati pops out of the seat that she has and says, "Where? It can't have taken them that long to pick her up and carry her. It took a lot longer just to get the room ready." And she walks out the door and is going to head back to the forge. Unless he tries to stop her.
No, he'll kind of stand there in the room. Maybe she's not acting weird.
Everyone gets an inspiration.
I think that's seeing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like it very much. Thank you. Thank you for this gift.
Let's see. So, I think, who don't we have accounted for in terms of what they're doing? What's Ava doing? What is Esmond doing?
Esmond went back to the workshop.
Okay. What's Ava? When people kind of went to do their things, what's Ava doing?
I guess she helped to sort of clean up some of the eggshell and sort of push some of it aside. Maybe took a small piece or something to bring back and look at later. And then would have gone upstairs just to check on to make sure everything looks okay. And if the creature is still sleeping soundly, she'll just wait for someone to call her for a watch. Having offered, she'll go back to her place.
Let me do kind of a scene in between there. So we're going to say it's when Seyfried, Araya, and Ava are in the room. Did Peach go somewhere, or was Peach hanging around as well?
Peach was with the egg girl.
Okay.
Beth carried her up, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's in the bed. Did you go back to work in the workshop? I'm just seeing who's kind of around for like an in-between scene.
I mean, Beth carried her up. It would have been part of getting her settled before going back to her workshop.
Okay, yeah, this is
I
like...
didn't say that I left yet.
This is like an hour later.
Okay. Yeah, once she's settled, then yes, Beth's in her workshop.
Okay, so
I
Beth
get the
just
vibe that
downstairs.
Peach and Araya are in the room with the girl. Is Cypher too?
Seyfried is like cool girl chilling in the doorway.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
That specific brand of cool girl, specifically.
That's good. Yeah, so sort of ambiently, Ava is kind of inspecting Bird Girl, because you did a medical scene earlier, but not enough time passed to actually do anything with that. So I presume that's what you're doing. Araya is there, Peach is there, Seyfried hanging out kind of in the doorway. Just downstairs, you can hear the sound of Beth working in the workshop. The creature's sound asleep. No likelihood of waking up immediately. Give me a little bit of scene of all those characters.
Anyone want to start? All right. Ava's just checking over the person, sort of from head to toe, giving an examination, sort of unwrapping parts of the blanket to sort of like examine and like look at the feet and get an idea, sort of moving up the leg and then covering things back up as she goes, and just sort of trying to make a few notes, mental notes, about the physiology of the creature, and to ensure that nothing looks like it is, as best she can tell, even though this is the first time she's ever seen this thing. Everything looks healthy. No blemishes or strange marks or anything like that.
Results later. So yeah, so Ava's kind of there, working with, or yeah, examining the creature.
Peach has kind of found herself in the corner of the room nearest to whatever light source there is. I imagine we didn't put this girl in a place with no windows. So kind of between the window and the corner there. And she's awake and looking out, but she's pulled a pair of small books from her bag, reaching in very deeply to the bag. She pulls out a small book that you might recognize, one of Miranda's journals, and a book of note paper from the Wanderlust, a kind of a book of paper sheafs held together with like a little bit of like gummy edge, like basically a steno pad, and she sort of quietly sits crisscross, and she opens the journal in front of her and then opens her own notebook and glances up at Ava moving around the room. But as it's quiet, she starts to read, and she hums to herself as she does, making notes in her own notebook as she reads along to her mom's journal entries.
Yeah, it says you're reading through the journals, beginning to hum to yourself. You've been following the sort of thread through Miranda's journal, talking about travels with her apprentice, Kaylee. And you've been able to find fragments of maps kind of in the sketches. And you're starting to build an idea of kind of where they had traveled down in the south, eastern part of the continent, at least the way that it was then. There are, they were in an area, at least at that time, called the Briar Spear. It's a place of jungle weather. There's reference to some creature called the Deceiver. Powerful, maybe a ruler, but maybe a king. Hard to know. There's mention of the basilisk. And trade in taverns and playing song. You know that as you work through the journal, it'll give you a better idea of the last place that they might have ventured before ending up in Shepherd's End, but you haven't quite unraveled it yet. I think you're working through that journal when you realize the creature is in sleep, humming the same song that you're humming.
Sunny, I'm trying to decide if Peach doesn't point it out immediately, but she does notice.
This will pique Seyfried's curiosity. She'll sort of like push off of the door frame and come a little bit closer. Arms crossed, still pretty aloof, but sort of leaning forward to regard the Aranakis person a little bit closer. Maybe teaching it language won't be a problem after all. How many languages do you think she can learn? And then in Sylvan, Seyfried slips into Sylvan and is like, cute little baby bird person. Maybe you can learn. Maybe you can learn my secrets now that Shalati's forgotten them.
Teaching it shade at an early age.
Rhea's like sitting on next to her, like she's ascribing to the keep it warm like a mother hen, so like her legs are along next to the bird girl with a book in her lap and just reading. Well, we should make a point of teaching her things that are very important and good, and right? So maybe I could a little maiden wouldn't hurt anyone. Certainly help me.
I mean, we could certainly talk to her about all different kind of things, like Gilgang did for us, a nice secular education.
Oh yes, I mean she is a citizen of Lux after all.
Freshly born.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But I have some really good prayers.
I mean, I think enough things go missing already. Do we really want to teach her all that? Joking.
If this book wasn't precious to me, I would throw it at you. That's right. Turns a page with a snap.
A sassy page snap, nice.
Sassy page turn with like a licking the finger, like. Well, this is just such an opportunity. Wouldn't it be nice if we could have learned before we even opened our eyes?
I mean, in a sense, don't we?
Yeah, we come out knowing how to breathe and all.
And don't you know, mothers sing to their babies in the womb, etc., etc. We can hear everything around us way before we're born, I guess, depending on how one is born. But it was in the egg, so I don't know. Maybe the Aranakis sing songs.
They sound like tink, 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 tink. She's trying to emulate the sound of a forge. Failed.
Speaking of which, downstairs, Beth, you finished getting all the snacks prepared.
How did you know, Chris? How did you know what I was actually doing? Kibeth comes upstairs with a tray. There's a pot steaming. There's, let's see, is there 5 of us, 4 of us? How many of us? Okay, yeah. My brain is so fried at this point. I'm like, what is numbers? I don't remember. What am I even doing? Yeah, Beth brings up this tray laden with snacks and things. She sets it down on the table. She's like, I thought you guys might be hungry. Here. And she pours a mug for each of you if you want it, and one for herself. And she also uncovers a tray. And she's like, and this is fish jerky, but it's for, and she points to the sleeping figure on the bed.
Thanks. You know, actually, that's probably a good idea, what you guys were talking about. Like, what if we just keep talking? And it seems like if she picks up on stuff quick, then maybe just conversation would help her learn?
It's good that it's us in the room and not judgmental other people.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, watch this. Sing again, Peach, sing.
Peach starts to sing a song that you will have heard Miranda sing and Peach sing as well. Just kind of something that Peach knows but doesn't know words to because she's never heard words to it. But a happy lilting little
Yeah, and presumably this is also a song that you hummed
presumably it's a real song.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. The creature tucked into the bed there maybe is mimicking it, or maybe, I mean, you hummed it like several songs. She was in the egg.
Oh, I mean, I read to her a lot. Maybe she'll know some things that I read.
Yeah, Peach would start to like hum a song, hum the tune, wait till the egg kind of wait till the egg girl kind of catches on, and then she'd stop and see if the egg girl continued it. She's trying to test if the girl knows the song.
When you stop, the creature continues to hum.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
What if the forge talked to her at night?
You know, again, Stranger Things, Kibeth. I'm not super surprised by anything that he says. But what do you mean? Forge talk? Forge talk? What?
No, never mind. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
You mean in a metaphorical kind of way, right? Like how I say, like, that cup of coffee is calling to me.
I mentioned it earlier when we were sitting at the table at the Wanderlust. The forge talked to me, and it said that it wanted to. Yeah. So I
No, don't gloss over this. No, don't. And Peach, don't judge her. We really should.
No, I'm not judging. I'm remembering. She did tell me this all already. There's just been so many wild things since then. I forgot it.
Speaking of which, I should go stoke that fire up. And I've got a shield to make, and there's egg parts to inspect to see.
And tell it good morning, and see if it's hungry for a particular kind of wood, and be nice to your forge. It's nice to you.
I'm always nice to my forge. I'll leave you guys with the food. Have fun singing to the Oranakas.
I want to go try to talk to her fire
She, sure, she did. Maybe you can get it to be more social than Casey's shadow.
Casey's what?
His, like, living shadow thing?
Living shadow. I
Mouse.
noticed.
It's the one that grins at you?
It hasn't grinned. It's grinned at you? Are you sure you're not like just a little bit too tired right now?
Just wait until you see it.
Wait.
It's why Casey's shadow plays are always so good. Cheats.
It's cheating. It's probably his magic. He's probably
It's not
controlling it to
cheating.
freak you out.
It's not cheating. Mose is a bona fide actor.
Wait, really like a separate living entity?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Seems that way.
But he doesn't talk about it. Every time we try asking him questions, he's like really guarded and weird about it.
Casey is guarded and weird about the most innocuous of questions. He doesn't
Right?
answer anything straightforward ever.
Yeah, I know.
He just likes to be mysterious. He'll probably love that we're all talking about him right now. I bet his ears are on fire.
They're always on fire.
He said he tried to light your horns on fire once.
No. Oh, ooh. So she like digs around in like her satchel. So for naming day, he gave me the coolest present. Like I really like your tiara, Ava. You know that, right? And it's a little bit much for a priestess to wear. We're not usually for jewelry, but he made these little horn caps for my horns, and they're all fancy with chains and sparkly things, but they light on fire. So
Let's see him.
well, okay, so she like puts
Yeah,
them
let's do it
on.
right now.
Wait, no, we're not lighting on fire. There's a baby.
You're trying to keep the baby warm anyway.
Yeah, but not with fire.
She grew up next
I
to a
don't know if I
forge.
can teach her that.
Peach will prestidigitate a little flame.
No, stop. They're flammable. There's like oil compartments. They're fire. I'd rather not singe things I can't unsinge.
All right, if you won't show us now, I want to see that like after this.
Absolutely, yes. But they're so nice.
Also, I'm glad you like the tiara because I'm kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm glad not to revisit history, but I am glad I chose a ring. It's very simple.
If it just kind of squints her eyes and looks at you.
Sorry, Ava. I know it's not your style, but you do look quite nice. We just need to integrate the vibe into the rest of your outfit.
What does that mean?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to wear a skirt maybe on Wednesdays.
Should we all wear skirts on Wednesdays?
Wear skirts every day, so should I wear something more skirt like on Wednesdays, or maybe just like a color?
Not on Wednesdays.
risque
We wear
length,
skirts.
perhaps.
All of us.
She's like, okay, so something more like this. She says a word, and her travel clothes transform into what looks like a prom dress.
You have been holding out on us the entire time, Ava.
Where did you get a magic dress?
It was Lily's. She gave it to me.
It's like in that one
Good
storybook.
Hey, who gave
It
it
looks
to you?
like Lily's.
Yeah, it doesn't quite fit. We're a little bit different, but yeah, it's hers. So, and she says a word and changes back into her regular clothes. Her face is blushing a little bit.
No, but I mean,
That's
on
for Lily.
Wednesdays, you should wear that.
Every Wednesday from now until the end of time.
I think that's a bit much.
I mean, it's not a binding pact we're making here. I'm just saying.
It is a binding pact. It's called commitment, Ava.
I am very committed to my tiara.
Downstairs, Shotty was going back, right? Yeah, you reach the forge and you see, I think at this point probably Kabeth just down there alone.
Miss Charlotte walks in, sees Kibeth, and just like looks at her and spreads her hands in like a what happened sort of way.
Beth is using the bellows, like it's a big chain she's pumping from above, and it's blowing air onto the fire, and you hear her whispering, "Come on, you can talk to me. It's safe now. It's morning. I'm awake. Everybody's upstairs. Yeah, we're gonna make some things today. It's gonna be really exciting. Talk to me." And then she hears you come in. She's like, "Oh, just getting the fire going, giving it its pep talk for the day."
Charlotte gives her a long, long look, and then says, "I'll let that slide for now. But I was waiting at the Kidwater house. What happened?"
Oh, I mean, we hadn't actually decided on that when you left, and we decided that it was safer to move her a short distance for now, since we didn't really know much, and we don't want to take her far. So she's upstairs, and there's a few of us watching over her. There's snacks too. If you bring
You
them
wanted her sleeping next to your sisters?
I mean, she's not gonna stay here forever. Just at least for a little while. I mean, she was just born. We gotta make sure she's okay. Plus, if she's too far away and something goes wrong and there's only 2 people out there, then it would take a really long time for us to find out that something went wrong, and then somebody could get hurt and die on the way. And then
how far is that Kinbar house from here?
What? You tell me.
Okay, I don't know. I just made it up. I mean, it was probably just a house that was abandoned because nobody who owned it still lived. So, I don't know, maybe... How big is this town? Maybe it's like 15 minutes to walk away.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. It's at an outskirt house? It's kind of isolated?
Sure, yeah.
Skirt house, skirt house.
You can only get in there if you wear a skirt. On Wednesdays. And, just kind of like... It's only 10 minutes away. You can run that in less than like 2 minutes. And just walking.
Yeah, but I mean, would you take a newborn and just jog them across town? Oh, you put them somewhere safe in a cradle for a while until you know that they're healthy enough to be moved. It's the same principle.
I mean, lots of newborns start walking within an hour or 2. Also, she's not exactly... She looks like she's 18. She's not exactly underdeveloped in the same way that a chick or...
We just don't know. And
infant is.
Regardless, she's in Rel's room upstairs.
Well, I guess that room is ready if we do need to move her somewhere else. It doesn't have any windows, and the door can be held shut from outside, so... is she still asleep?
Last I heard. Oh, and when Peach sang out loud, she hummed it at the same time.
She's still asleep?
Oh. Yeah, but we think she picks things up in her sleep. So maybe she picked up language too, because I read to her while she was in the egg. So maybe she'll know how to talk, which would be really cool and very impressive.
It would be useful.
Yeah, it'll certainly help us calm her down if she's upset when she wakes up, which is reasonable considering the situation.
Has Poppy seen her yet?
I don't know.
I wonder that. Well, I guess maybe that can be asked later. And then she's gonna go upstairs to put her head in. But
I don't. No. Before you leave, Chris says, I don't think so. I didn't see. I mean, Poppy was around following us when we came over, but Poppy didn't come in while she was here, and I took her upstairs. So I don't think so. And I don't think Beth would have seen Poppy interacting with the eggshell. So she doesn't know.
I missed Ray.
Yeah. Upstairs, you hear a group of people in chorus scream the word skirt. You're not sure why. Ava, you've finished your preliminary exam. From what you can tell, the musculature, bone structure, This person is largely developed. Like they have the physique to be able to stand and walk. Eyes reacted to light. More than likely, fully developed senses. Probably wouldn't make much sense to have this muscular structure if you're not going to be moving around.
Okay, so it looks like she's really well developed, as everyone can obviously see, but more than likely, based on what I'm seeing, she's gonna be really mobile. I mean, like, you know how when a horse is born, like it starts running like right away and all that? It's like she's gonna be really capable pretty much when she first wakes up. So, no idea cognitively or mentally where she'll be from at least the exam I've done so far, but yeah, she's gonna be very capable.
Good for her.
Yep, just I guess something to be mindful of in case she is scared when she first wakes up or something happens. She, even though just born, could be dangerous only if she's like, in a way that anybody or any animal can be dangerous if it's feels the whole fight or flight stuff.
Sorry for you to get a tingle on the back of your neck, and you hear Charlotte come up the stairs.
She kind of straightens up with like an inhale, having just been kind of lost in thought and listening to what was happening. She'll kind of half turn. Oh, hey, come on in.
Charlotte, seeing how looks in and seeing how crowded the room is, presumably doesn't actually enter. She just kind of stands in the doorway and pokes her head in, and says, "Everything all right here?"
They want me to wear a skirt.
Well, if it doesn't get in the way.
No, I think it's a good idea. I was just saying they want me to do that. Oh, but yeah, she's fine. She's still sleeping, probably going to be out for a while, but when she wakes up, I was just telling them she's like really pretty much fully developed, as you would guess, based on like, just looking at her. She's going to be just as strong and capable as anyone here. More so than like in my case, I guess.
I wonder what she'll be like.
Don't sell yourself short, Doc. I hardly think she'll learn medicine.
Yeah, I just meant more of the like strength thing. Like she tries to flex her arm. There's no muscle.
Strength ain't in it then. Ain't everything.
Is there like a bookshelf or anything like that in here? Like,
this was a child's room, not a child's room, like a teenager's room. Beth, what would this room be like?
Yeah, this is the room that belonged to Kabeth's older brother before he went away to the front. So he was 20-ish. I don't know how long ago. I guess, yeah, late teens when he left. I think by now the room is kept very neat. There's a small shelf of books. Most of the books are in Kabeth's room. A space for like a desk for working, a bed. Simple furniture, nothing too crazy.
I think Charlotte, basically, what Charlotte wants to do is find a way to block the window, since it said that there was a window here. And so seeing the desk and the bed, she is going to start to try and move the desk in front of the window and then put the bookcase on top of it so that the window is covered.
Slotty, what are you doing? Leave that window alone. Let some light in.
If she is fully capable, then she's probably fully capable of running away.
She's probably fully capable of waking up and realizing she's in a prison with all of her exits blocked, too.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's actually a good idea, because if we leave the window open, she might feel the same way, but try to leave and not realize that it's transparent. I just don't know. Wouldn't want her leaping through the window and hurting herself either. Mhm.
Also, if she came from an egg, she might like close spaces.
I'm not sure she's going to understand the concept of a prison upon her first moments of consciousness.
Also, wouldn't it be worse if she like counts everyone in the room? This many people here sitting around her bed?
That might
That's
be true.
fine.
I mean, it's not the same thing as like waking up and being surprised at what's around you. It would be the first time she's ever woken up. So less surprising because there's nothing to compare it to.
Well, if you guys want fewer people in the room, I mean, I think I've done everything I need to. I can, like, wait somewhere else.
I'm fine to wait outside. Or I don't know how many if you want to stay here. If there's enough, then I can go.
Yeah, I mean, Cyphered, I think you got a good point. I don't think she'll really know any better if it's, like, overwhelming or not, because it's literally the first thing she will potentially have experienced, but if everyone... I just do whatever everyone wants to do.
Cypher shrugs.
Okay, well... she'll probably sleep for a good long while, I would say. She's pretty tuckered out, I guess. So, I'll go and attend to a few other things, and if anything happens, you need me, just come yelling, and I'll come running, I guess.
Peach kind of waves at Doc from where she's still crouched on the ground. Don't worry, I'm positive that I can sing her to sleep if I need to. If she wakes up and starts getting in too much trouble, I think we can get her calm back down.
Okay, good. Anyone
Maybe
else?
2 people here at all times until she wakes. That way someone can stay here and the other person can run.
And somebody should
Or,
read to her.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like
I'll
that. Reading or
start.
singing or talking sounds good.
I have the driest book on comparative religion of the area of blah blah blah.
It seems like 2 people is enough. Cyphered will dip. She'll just go downstairs, though.
Leaves the lecture. It's so good. Amazing.
Fucking poster girl for the cool girl brand.
100%. As soon as it turns nerd.
she goes.
You know
she
what I'm
goes to
gonna
smoke
do?
some
You
clothes
cigarette.
out back behind the school.
Yeah, she has a pipe.
What's that? Learning? See you later, nerds. Alright, yeah, Ava also follows out after, but less offended by the lesson of the book.
Her spiritual development is just as important.
Well, she'll get a whole dose of everything. I'm, whole world of experiences.
Meanwhile, Esmond.
I'm here. I'm alive.
There's a knock at the door.
This is the same day, like right after, like shortly after the egg hatched?
Yeah, something like an hour later.
Okay, yeah. Come out from behind my curtain, kind of dust myself off, try to wipe away grease and just smear it across my cheek, making it worse, and go to open the door.
Opens up. It's a verdict for Thedrian.
Sir, hi, hello. How can I help you?
Esmond, we've just finished the what I think's the final work on the wall. Wanted to have your input, but I realized I'd never stopped by your workplace here. The people say they owe much of the functionality of the town's rope gears to you and your mother.
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, uh, most of it was done well, well before I was born. It was my mom and my dad, Mogwood. The two of them really kind of pulled the town together before I came along.
Fantastic. Would you be interested in showing me progress on the device that might close the portals?
Yeah, absolutely. Please come in. And similar before, start lighting up lanterns, kind of get everything going, and pull him over to the workbench with Project Lightning Dynamite on top of it.
And he kind of ducks his head into the door and walks over that way and sets his hands on his hips, and you can hear the gears whirring kind of, in the prosthetic that you designed. You can hear the heavy sound of the prosthetic leg on the wooden floor. His eyes can go over the project, and this looks to be progressing well. Never seen this arrangement of gears before. This is copper.
It's a little makeshift. I'll admit the original blueprints I pulled together had to be adapted and changed a little bit after my mom had a chance to look over everything. She gave her opinion on it. And Esmond will just kind of go into further details, just kind of turning it around and showing him specific points of how it is set to operate, setting it, how specific gears and coils will interact to release the different bursts of energy for closing and opening the portals, and so on.
Fascinating. Never seen this use of a refracting sunstone. This is brilliant.
It was honestly just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I kind of kicked myself really hard at the realization, because at the time it was something that I had ordered for a completely different project so long before everything fell to shit, essentially. But yeah, I just kind of had a revelation when we were returning from the temple that while the sunstone itself is not magical, it has the properties that allow for magic to pass through it, and with the appropriate attachments and connections to it, it can amplify those magical capabilities.
Very good work. And kind of puts a big hand at your shoulder, and nicely done. I think before too long we'll have this area well secured. One other question, now that's on my mind. He reaches to his belt and pulls one of the bullets. Ding, puts on the work table. Have a look at that. Do you think you can make more of those?
Pick it up and kind of observe it. These are one of the arcane bullets for the clockwork rifle, correct?
Indeed. Those manufactured by the kingdom's artificers. But I have no way myself of making more without the proper supplies, and it was never itself my specialty.
I had an opportunity to very briefly look over everything, over your equipment and some of these when we had pulled you from the train wreck during the pudding attack, and I had the opportunity to fire the rifle. I don't envy you for having to use it, but if you would leave this with me, give me an hour or two. I could see about replicating some kind of workaround blueprint to make my own. It wouldn't. I can't guarantee the effectiveness necessarily, but I think I could put something together.
An hour. Well, I have a few more yet. Studied well. If you can find a way to manufacture those, it'd greatly help our position. He kind of looks around the shop for a moment and says, and I heard about the automatons. I know that you're responsible for those. Quite sorry for the loss.
Yeah, more effective than I thought I would be. They're broken. But it's fine. I think I have a solution for them, something to benefit all of us, at the very least.
Great. Well, when you have time, come by the gate. I would like to have you take a look at the gears. How are things with you and yours? Anything new to report?
I need somebody to confirm for me if Vithedrian was aware of the egg being brought to town or not, out of character.
Yeah, I think the consensus was, right, that he knew about the egg.
Yeah, he knows about Poppy and he'd know about the egg, but he's not aware of the hatching or the results of it.
Yeah, he was there at the scene when we discovered the egg.
That's right. I forgot he was actually there.
Yeah, because he took out the big Aranaka with that shot.
Also, we never actually finished the that discussion.
Everything is fine at the moment. Nothing to report immediately. I've just kind of, outside of the few meetings I've had with everybody, I've kind of kept to myself here in the workshop, trying to get these projects thrown together.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any reaction. He says, good. I know that you're working hard. Well, if you get a chance, come by the gates soon. I know the men there are anxious to move on to something new.
Yes, sir. Let me clean up here a little bit. Let me. And he sets the bullet to a table. Let me find a place to put this. I'll follow after you here in a few minutes.
Fantastic. I'll meet you there. He starts to leave and pauses and says, one more question, just out of curiosity. Do you know, is there anyone from this town that might have traveled in the east? The area that was pointed out on the map. I was asking around and no one seems to know anything about it.
Out of character, to clarify, east is the direction of Muirwood, of the tower.
Southwest would be Muirwood. The tower would be southeast.
Do I know of anything east of the town?
He's talking about the
tower. No, sir, I don't think so. The tower was something that I've noticed on the map previously, but it's never something that has really grabbed my attention before that meeting.
Curious. Oh, thank you. And he heads to the door. You hear the first footsteps as he heads towards the gates.
Okay. Esmond will take a few minutes to kind of steady his breathing, find a place to put away the arcane bullets, and will clean himself up, take a rag and try and clean himself up, and just spread more grease across his face before he heads out to meet the verdict at the door, at the gate that he had requested.
All right, sounds good. Where Casey was left behind sort of in the Kivar house. I don't think anyone ever came back. What's Casey doing?
Still standing there.
Just him and a pile of salted fish on the bed.
Thinking about how good that line was.
So, that scene from Jurassic Park when Ian Malcolm is laying in the office with the radio. He's just sitting. No, he would probably go back to the to his house and the obstacle course and kind of do stuff there.
Okay.
He would come and visit Egg Girl at some point, though, if that's the thing at some point.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's say, yeah, you approach the, you're approaching the workshop, not the workshop, the smithy. You can hear the sound of Kabeth working inside. You can looking up, you can see that one of the windows has been boarded up. There's a bookshelf in front of it.
Yeah, Casey will kind of knock as he's opening the door. Kabeth, are you in here?
I mean, you probably heard the sounds of the hammer in the shop, which is open air, so like you can just walk around back.
Oh, it's open air.
So nobody answers the door.
No, he'll walk over towards the hammer sounds then.
Beth is hammering away on something, and
yeah, he walks right up, not worried about sparks or heat.
She looks at him. She goes, "Hey, maybe you should try talking to my forge. Maybe it'll talk back to you. You know, you're really connected to fire and stuff. Maybe it'll like you."
Again now.
Huh?
What did you just say to me?
You should talk to the forge and see if it answers back at you. Reminder that Kabeth told you about hearing her forge speak at breakfast.
Yeah, he may not have been listening, but he kind of looks to the forge and... Hello there. How's the coals today? You're looking smoldering. I don't think this is working, Kabeth.
Yeah, maybe I was just really tired. He hasn't talked to me today either.
What did it say to you, though?
Chris, can you remind me? Because it's been over a week and I forgot. Like, was it like more?
Yeah.
It wanted
or actually,
more.
I'll give you actual details. The burn that you got when you were a child on your hand began to hurt as though it was a fresh burn, and the edges of it were luminous, like embers in a campfire. And you heard a voice from the fire ask for more.
Well, okay. So I was tired. It was the middle of the night, but like. The dog just snapped her teeth behind me, and I heard it through my headphones. Like, sorry, very distracted. Well, yeah. So it was the middle of the night, And my hand started to hurt, and she holds it up and you see the burn mark on her. And she's, well, it started to glow and it was glowing like when I do my magic, but I wasn't doing any magic. And then I swear that the fire told me it wanted more. But it was the middle of the night, and so I said, no, go to sleep, fire. I am tired. You will have more fuel in the morning. I mean, that's not weird, right? Like, I mean, of all the things. I mean, the giant dinosaur lady just hatched out of an egg in my workshop, and everybody thinks I'm crazy for the fire talking to me.
I mean, there's nothing weird about that at all. I mean, it's a good fire.
Yeah, it's a good fire. Anyways, everybody's upstairs. I'm sure you didn't come here to talk to me about fire.
Well, it's good to see you back at the forge.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I live now. Gestures broadly to the workshop.
Yeah. I look forward to get better acquainted with your fire. He kind of points vaguely towards the forge.
Yeah. They probably it's probably somebody else's turn to take over for watching upstairs.
Yeah, did she wake up? The egg girl?
I mean, nobody came to get me, so I assume not.
Well, I'll just go see for myself then, I guess. Good day to you too. Fire? Forge? I don't know what to call it.
We'll think of a name. Beth pulls on the bellows to pump air into it, and the fire roars up a bit.
Yeah, in case you'll head upstairs.
You hear as he goes upstairs.
Very long chapter about like aesthetic, like the importance of restraint.
And then as that's wrapping up, sort of as Ray comes to the end of a stanza, you hear Peach's very characteristic voice piping in. But of course, you should treat yourself once in a while. Life's not any fun without fun. You don't need to exercise restraint every time, in general, but everything in moderation.
Well, but there's true virtue in denying yourself something that maybe you want, because your wants of the body are not nearly as important as the needs of the soul.
If that's the sort of thing that you're into, of course. If you decide that the wants of your body are the things you want to pursue, you do you. Anything that you want to do, I will support you.
There's a balance, but you should really listen to yourself to see what your needs are and evaluate them based on the important things. Yes, you should eat, but should you eat in excess? No, and consider that you are part of a community that all has needs that you should take into consideration.
But every now and then you could. Yeah, I mean, you could celebrate a birthday or a special occasion, or every now and then. I mean, sometimes you just want that extra bite of cake. Or
she puts a finger as a bookmark in the book and kind of closes it. It's my turn.
Fine. I'll teach about. Fine. I'll take my turn then. I'll take my turn.
If you read her one of those romance novels, I do think that you will undo everything I've done.
I haven't been reading her romance novels. I've been reading her fairy tales.
Ooh, those are better. Seemingly not so fairy tale now in these days, though.
Figure they've got good enough lessons without too much mainly virtue.
Well, that certainly sounds like she's getting a well-rounded education.
You hear from the doorway?
Casey.
Oh,
How's the little one?
asleep still.
I can't imagine why. He kind of walks over. To get a closer look, and
Yeah. Previously, when you saw the creature, it was all like gross and wet. It looks like they've cleaned and dried it up. And you can see the vibrant colors of the feathers, lots of teal and under different metallic undertones, kind of ranging from pink into magenta.
yeah, I've not seen one like her before, or heard about one in the play or anything like that. She's pretty unique, huh?
Well, if she came from the same place as the Arnakas, then absolutely unique to our world entirely. We've been taking turns, reading or talking or singing to her. Maybe, well, she can't see your shadow play. Maybe we should wait till she's awake for one of those, but...
Yeah, I imagine she'll have to wake up at some point. Casey kind of walks over and snaps a couple times near her face. Snaps once more and produces a little flame.
Careful there, Casey. You don't want her to snap awake and slice your hand off. You see those nails are sharp.
I mean, wasn't born yesterday, like some.
Yeah, no response. Well, I think there is, like, actually at the snap, there's a slight, she, like, shifts a bit, kind of where she's sleeping.
Well, has anyone thought of a name yet?
It feels presumptuous without, meeting her.
Yeah, figure we ask her. Who knows? Maybe she'll come out singing and dancing and speaking several languages.
Ooh, I should start reading to her in Celestial.
Oh. Yeah, I can, she's in good hands, I'm sure. Casey will kind of start to walk away and stop and say, Araya, you haven't seen my mirror on a stick, have you?
I
I've
was...
been racking my brain, and last time I remember using it, I think was at the desert portal when we were, doing the Lux code, but I think I might have put it down in Ez's shop somewhere, and...
No, I was meaning to, but I've been here. I found it.
You did?
Yeah, she sort of digs around her couch, pulls it out, hands it over to him. It looked familiar.
I must have left it at the,
Temple.
portal. Yeah.
So you take Okay.
No, I'm glad you came here. Yeah, I was meaning to give it back.
As you take the mirror that Array offers you, you catch something in the reflection as you look down. The creature sitting up, staring at all of you.
He kind of pauses with the mirror. Well, and then turns.
See she's kind of sat up in bed, big glassy eyes looking at each of you.
My name is Orthocles Feldspar Calcio. It's a pleasure to meet you.
What can we call you?
Her eyes dart back and forth between you. Doesn't respond with any words.
Don't make like any sudden moves or anything.
See, she starts to.
Have any
Starts
food?
to. Yeah, there's some food kind of beside the bed.
Dried fish.
Yeah, Casey will kind of grab a piece and hold it out, low and slow.
Snap to it. She starts to lean forward and the hand tentatively starts to reach out for it. She starts to tumble forward off the bed.
Falling to the
try
ground?
to catch her.
Yeah.
Roll dexterity saving throw. No, yeah, dexterity saving throw.
I will.
Ooh, yeah. You catch her before she hits the ground. She kind of seems to catch her. She like relaxes into your arms, eyes still fixed onto the food.
Not quite stable yet,
Yeah, Casey, help me get her back on the bed there.
Yeah.
We'll kind of help prop her up in a seated-ish position.
Yeah, Casey will offer the food again, and
Peach will sit next to the girl, like kind of just there to support her if she falls over. But also like kind of showing an example of sitting.
You move food closer. She takes it kind of fumblingly, but keeps a hold on it and then just kind of flops over onto her side. Just seems to ignore all of you then and starts chewing on it.
maybe Salinger will be able to talk to her. I mean, he can talk to Poppy. Unless Casey kind of clears his throat and says, "Can you understand this in Draconic?"
There's no response right away, but after she finishes chewing on the food, she kind of puts her hand out toward you. She like puts her hand out, palm up, for something. Says, Salinger.
Did she just say Salinger?
Eyes widen, Salinger.
We need to go find Sal!
Yeah, so, where would he be
Casey.
right now? Yeah, that's me.
She looks around. She looks at your hand. As you point at your hand, she points at your hand. Or you point at yourself, she points at your hand. Salinger.
No, I'm not Salinger. I'm Orthocles Feldspar Calcio. Salinger's... He's the big one with the...
She just keeps looking at your hand.
Casey snaps and creates
She
a
kind of
flame.
flinches when the fire comes over the lighter. She kind of backs up, kind of falls over.
It's all right. You're okay.
Yeah, Casey will close his fist and puts the fire out. Do we know where Salinger would be right now? I mean, Beth will probably be the fastest to go get him. I can. Let me run down and tell Beth. Make sure she doesn't fall out the window. And he starts to point towards the blockaded window. And it's like, never mind. And runs downstairs to Beth. Kind of skids in. Dust and dirt kicks up and just. She's awake. She said Salinger's name. Do we know where Salinger is? Can you find him?
She said Sal's to you?
And mine, but
Did she say anything that sounded like maybe
she might have started to, but then she's really unstable right now, kind of falling over, so can you find Salinger?
Yeah, I can go find Salinger. She heads towards her.
Yeah. As soon as Casey left the room, her face like went sour. It almost looked like she was upset, maybe gonna cry. And she looks.
Chris, don't do this.
Araya. She looks at Araya. She says, "Feldspar."
That was. Yes. Orthoclase feldspar. That one. The one that just ran out.
And he'll be back. He'll be back, though. He went to go find Salinger.
She kind of like. She's looking around the room. She kind of she kind of looks at Peach and then kind of looks around you, and then sets her eyes on the plate of snacks and she points at it. Salinger.
She thinks. Oh! She thinks Salinger is food. No, food. Food. Hold on. What do we have? What do we have? Snack patch. Really dense cracker. Hand it to her.
She takes a bite and spits it out.
Hey! I was gonna eat that later.
Casey.
I mean, we got more dry fish.
Of water. Offers her a cup of water. This'll also help. Water.
She just keeps pointing. She's pointing at the snacks.
Pointing at the what?
Snacks. Food.
Food, yeah.
Yeah, food.
Temperance.
Let's see if Kabeth has more food. Like, heartier than bread.
Well, hang on. Peach fumbles in one of the many pockets hidden within her mini skirts and comes up with a small meat pie and
you had this the whole
holds
time?
it out. Well, yeah, we got those snack patches.
Unrefrigerated.
No, it stays the temperature it is. It's nice and warm. Mine's like a thermos.
Yeah, she reaches out for it.
Peach hands it to her and then kind of mimics, like, mimes, like, eating, like, a pretend one.
Yeah, she kind of claps back at the bed and kind of starts tearing it open, getting crumbs and stuff all over the bed, and kind of pouring gravy out on the sheets, and starts eating the meat out of it. And she kind of just goes back to laying in the bed. Salinger.
No, it's food. That one's a meat pie.
Pie.
That's more food.
And she seems content to be doing that.
Yeah, Casey will come back up and Gabeth went to get Salinger, so.
I don't know that she knows what Salinger is or who he is. I think maybe Salinger's a word she says when she wants to say it out.
That's feldspar.
Nobody calls me that.
I know, but she said feldspar.
Yeah, when you left.
Maybe she'll call you that.
I mean, you did introduce her with the whole name and everything.
Well, I mean, it was our first introduction.
I know, you don't hear me use my whole name. Here, I'm Peach.
Yeah, but it's so informal.
She's open mouth chewing.
Kind of like touches her jaw like that.
I mean, first time meeting should have a little more formality to you, no? I mean, I guess she can call me Casey, I guess.
Casey.
Yeah, Casey.
She points at the pie. Casey.
So maybe she is kind of newborn, despite her size. Doesn't really seem to understand or know.
Well, I figure if we introduce the things that we bring to her with names that they are, she'll remember the ones that are important to her and what she needs, and we at least can figure that part out. The fact that she can speak is a huge boon.
Baby birds can speak as soon as they're hatched, so seems like it makes sense.
Who's over here speaking bird, Casey?
Well, she's at least part bird, huh?
She starts humming one of Kibeth's songs as she picks through the meat and the pie.
Yeah, it sounds like she's really listening to what's going on around her.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't seem upset or frightened, and this is as good an outcome as we could have hoped for, really. You know, so she's a toddler, and we can manage. You know, we've everyone but me's got a million siblings.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think so long as somebody is with her, that makes sense. Do we just say that we found her so that it's less weird, or do we really say that she hatched from the egg?
Half the town saw the egg.
Yeah, but they saw an egg. They didn't expect to see a...
Yeah, maybe she can wait till she gets to a point she can tell her own origin story. Otherwise, people go around calling her Egg Girl, and that's, you know.
Egg Girl.
No, we'll have a better name for you.
Muna. Seifert appears in the doorway.
Bless you.
Muna.
Muna.
That's egg in Sylvan. Muna.
Muna.
Muna. She
You
likes
make
it.
her name just Egg Girl, but in another language.
It's pretty.
Pretty. Pretty egg girl.
Pretty egg girl. Muna.
I feel this is Well,
There's no point in hiding anything in a town this size. Everyone saw the egg. Where else could pretty egg girl Muna have come from?
I mean, pretty much anywhere else. There are portals all over to different realms.
All the more reason why we don't have to lie.
I don't say we have to lie. It's just we don't have to tell the verdict every little thing that we get up to.
I think it does more harm than good to try to obscure the truth when there's no way to actually, like, pick and choose your lies, is what I'm saying.
Lies.
no, that's true. Yes. Less of those. Just safety, that's all. That's the most important part. Yeah, you're right. We should we should let capable adults. We're the okay.
We're the capable adults.
Yep. No, yeah, I started the sentence and then I remembered.
I mean,
Well, we should tell the Bethedrian.
I mean, do we have to?
I know, but I mean, he hunts not like necromancers.
Muna's not a necromancer. Are you, Muna?
Necromancer. Lies.
We need to start curating our words.
She seems to pick up on things pretty fast. I
Says
could
you were
probably...
You're proselytizing her while she was in OVO.
Temperance.
I was sharing the importance of restraint. These are valuable lessons.
I wonder if I can show her how to make fire.
Maybe we should wait till she understands that it hurts.
Casey sits down cross-legged on the bed across from Moon.
She shifts around a little bit and mimics your setting.
So, Muna, you want to kind of feel warmth in your center, in your core.
Just bad idea. Just she doesn't understand responsibility and not to do it inside or control or any of these things. Casey.
It's so much easier to learn these things when you're young, though.
What? No,
the
like
last
language.
thing the forge needs is fire.
All forges need fire. That's kind of the whole basis.
Well, she needs just, food and warm bed. Not
pretty lies.
Like slight panic on her face. Let's start with maybe I can teach you how to heal. Healing is a far better useful skill than fire.
I mean, if we don't want to show her fire right now, I can take her to the obstacle course and teach her parkour.
Actually,
let her get her legs first.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point. Yeah.
So, Kabeth is getting Salinger. What about everyone else? We should all talk about it at least before we let the verdict and others know.
Verdict pie.
What would be in that, do you think?
Studies your expression.
Potatoes.
Verdicts.
I don't know, you could call it a verdict pie if you made it 4 verdicts. Stuff it full of whatever verdict's like.
Justice.
Justice.
Justice and clockwork bullets.
Pomp and circumstance.
Rules.
think I'm gonna call it a night, folks. I'm hit a wall.
Get some rest.
Okay.
Night,
Good night.
Kate.
Good night.
Good night.
I guess it would make sense then. Each, do you want to gather the others so we can kind of figure out a path forward? I mean, Esmond don't know what to do. We can get Esmond.
Esmond also wanted to just...
Esmond had very clear ideas about what to do with Muna. I'm sure they haven't changed.
What was that?
Isolate her, not interact with her, lock her up, separate her, monitor her. Esmond. Now that she's awake, we should get Ava back.
Yeah, Doc too.
Really, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, with as fast as she's picking up words, I think she'll have her feet under her in no time.
All the sooner to run through your obstacle course.
Legs.
We should definitely introduce her to more people because it's going to take more than just us to keep an eye on her. I think. Yeah, like Salinger, and she's hungry still. I'm gonna go get a snack from Kabeth's kitchen. I know the way.
I wonder what'll happen when she meets Poppy.
Yeah, there's no telling.
Right. And we'll say before too long, everyone who wants to arrive at the workshop can arrive at the workshop.
Wait, I wanted to enter in with Sal.
Okay. Let's do it.
Who I assume is here.
You get there first. And the two of you.
But not around our new friend? Or in the workshop?
You can set it up however you would like to.
Oh, I mean, she ran off to get him, and I would have liked to have entered into the bedroom with Sal, because I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I assume the door's still open. You hear the stomp of Kabeth's hooves pounding up the stairway, and she's like, come on! We're gonna meet her! And Sal, you're right behind her. And she points
you have to look
to
back
her.
and see how far behind I keep falling to make sure that I catch up.
She's kind of like excitedly ran ahead, but like then realized she was going too fast and like kept pace with you, and then like jogs ahead just a little bit and comes back. And yeah, she's like, she's awake. Look. And she said your name. She said your name. Apparently, she asked for you. I don't know how she asked for you, but she asked for you.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, as soon as you get in the doorway, you see... You have described what the creature looks like to you, right? Yeah, her eyes... Yeah, her eyes fix onto you. I mean, she's been dried, and I think they give her a tunic. She's wearing a tunic now.
Cyphered picks up a dried fish. Sal, and tosses the dried fish to him.
Your eyes follow it and fix onto you. Salinger.
Yeah, that's me. Says walking kind of slowly into the room.
You hear Kabeth's voice from the hallway. Say Kabeth! Kabeth.
You're shouting that into the room?
Yes, say Kabeth.
Kabeth.
She did it! She said my name! Yes!
Yeah, she's picking up words really fast.
She's already sitting up, too. That's quick.
Lies.
She's not saying what you're saying is...
Yeah,
she's just
reading to her.
No, Casey taught her that one.
What, lies? That makes sense.
Yeah, and some other things.
No, I was going to teach her fire, but they
No,
were like,
but I
maybe
think-
that's not a good idea.
In my
Yeah.
house?
Fire.
Nope.
Focus.
No, no fire in the house.
But more food. Like running back up the stairs. I have a snack. Sorry, Kibeth, it was the closest thing I found.
Please, I would rather have more snacks than fire in my brother's room. Thank
It's
you.
not meat, but it's fruit, which hopefully she won't throw back at me.
So just to be clear, was I her first word?
Gosh, don't gloat.
I'm not gloating. I'm asking for clarification.
It
He says he
was.
walks
Oh,
up
yeah.
with some fish.
Reaches out. Salinger.
There's a little bit of association confusion, but yes, seems like your name was her first word. Salinger, this is Muna.
Hey,
Salinger.
Muna, who wouldn't be
Muna.
confused if you just came bursting out of a big old egg with a bunch of strangers all around you?
Pretty egg girl.
Oh, yeah.
Did you give her the fish?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. She takes it in her claws, kind of flops over and starts to. She
So you
chews
named her
Hands and
already?
feet, or just...
She has claws on her hands. Three fingers on them.
Like Cyprid.
Yeah, and so she kind of flops over and starts to eat the fish. Closed mouth this time.
I taught her that.
Manners.
I don't know.
So you named her already, huh? I think it's a great name.
It means egg.
Oh, and
means egg.
straight to the point.
Egg.
Actually, what language was it in?
Sylvan.
Oh, because it's like, yeah, egg. 'Cause she also speaks Sylvan. Right to the point.
Cyprid speaks in Sylvan. Pretty egg girl, Muna.
You said that in
Say
the whole
back.
thing in Sylvan?
Yeah, so she says Muna twice.
That's just nods, confused. Yeah, pretty egg girl, pretty egg girl. Yeah.
Pretty egg.
She's crunching on bones, as well as fish head.
Apple? Apple? She
Alright,
makes
eyes
no.
fix
Beth
on it.
takes the apple. and then looks at her and hands it towards her instead.
She reaches out and takes it. Takes a bite and
Beth.
spits it out.
Well, she didn't like bread. She didn't like the apple.
Beth reaches into her pocket and pulls out more dried fish. Hands that.
Sal,
still
what does
has-
Poppy eat?
She still has some dried fish. She takes your dried fish. She looks at both dried fish. Salinger.
Poppy eats almost exclusively protein unless she's got an upset stomach, and sometimes she'll get a little vegetation in her system. It's got to be pretty much pre-chewed, though, at that point. Wrong teeth for that kind of work.
Are you saying that you pre-chew it for her?
Don't read too much into that.
I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just asking.
And I'm not telling. So, what do we do now?
She puts one of the fish under the pillow.
Well, I think it'll take the whole town to raise her, really. Not just us. Right? I mean, she has a lot to learn.
For out-of-character context, are we aware of any other bird-like humanoid species? Like our
There are. Our crag exists, but she doesn't look like one. She doesn't look exactly like a lizard folk or a dragonborn or an Aracrocra.
I was just
She's
thinking
definitely
about what kind of assumptions we might make based on past experiences.
she's definitely going to stand out in town. That's for sure.
There are worse things.
I think she needs more names than just Muna. At least 2 more.
Muna.
That's 2.
She does have more. Pretty egg girl Muna.
I haven't even given Kabeth a last name.
Yeah, Cypher doesn't have a last name either.
You need at least 3. All of you.
Has Doc taken a look at her yet?
When
Oh, she was
out, yeah.
asleep.
Yeah, where is she?
Well, somebody else can go get her because I want to be here around the new baby. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think Peach went to go get us, so I'll just say that.
Yeah, you guys will arrive if you want to be in the scene. Sorry, I had said you could be there earlier, but you can come there.
Okay. Yeah, I guess she'll arrive at the same time as I guess Shalati and Esmond, maybe.
Whoever wants
You
to.
come? Okay. Oh, wow.
If somebody gets Esmond, he'll come.
Yeah, you finished. Yeah, we'll say you finished the scene with the verdict at the gate, and we can flash back to it later if we need to.
Wow, this room is really crowded now. Hey, Sal. No, just hadn't seen you. Hey, how's she doing? She asked everybody.
Yeah, she starts humming one of the songs that Kabeth had hummed her when she was in the egg.
She seems calm and curious and hungry.
My kind of person.
Not thirsty, doesn't like fruit.
Extremely adept at mimicry. He says as he kind of like tries to get her to bob her head back and forth to follow his eyes.
She is eating a fish, but she follows you. Her eyes.
So far, she's only been interested in eating the salted fish. We haven't tried anything else made of meat.
I think there was
A meat
jerky
pie.
at the beginning. I think there was jerky at the beginning.
Oh,
and a
that's
meat
right.
pie.
I wasn't there for that.
I think Shalati had come with a backpack. And it's just, you can smell the smoked fish from there. I think she'd gone back to the Kindor house and like piled all of the food that had been brought there and brought it over to here. But she's standing outside of the door now since there's so many people inside looking in.
From the back of the room, Esmond is going to take some vials, mixing them together and rubbing them onto the lenses of his glasses, and he is detecting, or he is casting Detect Magic. And I just want to see if I get a hint or see an aura coming off this creature.
So that spell, as you would know, would detect the presence of a currently active spell, and you don't see any, I think. People might have some items that are glowing, I suspect. But the creature doesn't seem to have any immediate magical aura, which would not say necessarily that there's no magic to its existence, but no
nothing is
current
emanating
spells.
to indicate that she's like has a spell active on her person.
Well, I guess at some point she'll need a name.
We gave her a name.
What?
2 so far.
What? When did this happen?
I did.
Oh.
I recommended
Good name.
restraint.
All right. Well, what's the name?
Muna.
Muna.
Oh, that's a good name.
Muna.
Wait, why Muna?
It means egg.
Pretty egg girl.
That's right.
Wow, she is really picking up language.
Salinger.
That one means food.
Got some work to do on that front. No, at least it's a positive association.
True.
you did spend the most time with the egg other than Kabeth, so I'm surprised she hasn't said Kabeth yet.
She did say Kabeth.
She did one.
Beth looks glum.
So what's the plan now exactly? We have this. We have this hatchling sitting in one of the rooms of your forge, Kabeth. Are we gonna? We got to tell the verdict. We can't keep this a secret.
Verdict lies. Secret.
I mean, he's gonna recognize that she looks kind of like the Orionacus. I mean, he was there when we took the egg. He saw the Orionacus. She looks like the Orionacus, kind of in a weird way.
Everybody's going to recognize that, given the number of Orionacus carcasses we hold in, and Poppy.
Exactly. So, secret, probably not going to happen. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've got a new sister in the house who just happens to mimic words and not say my name voluntarily. But that's okay. We can work on that.
Secret egg girl.
Secret egg girl.
Cannot stay in here all the time. If she is in fact a baby, she has to meet other babies.
Yeah.
We need to socialize her.
What?
Yes. The whole it takes a town to raise a child, and I think
Did you
we
say other
can't
babies?
And teach her magic.
I mean, it's not great for little ones to not have any other little ones to play with as part of growing up.
Conviction.
Okay. Well, so we got to do several things, right? We want to socialize her, but like
safely.
Yeah, and make sure that because like if she is young, kids do things that hurt people because they don't understand empathy. So like, she could accidentally do something. So like, I don't think that we should isolate her. That's probably wrong. But like, I think Esmond, I understand what your concern is. So socialize her safely. How do we do that?
I mean,
with supervision.
Yeah, I have the first 5 acts of the Shadow played down. There's a lot of really good lessons in there that we could bring her over and show it to her.
I have an idea. Or here's a thought. None of us have had a baby before and raised it ourselves, but we have people in town that have literally done exactly that. They're practically raising experts. We should get help.
Hold on.
Busy.
I mean, but I think first priority is to make sure that people aren't afraid of her unnecessarily, because I think she glances over at Araya. I think that we don't want people to develop unfounded fear over things before we know what kind of person they really are, and therefore could create bad situations that are dangerous to our new friend here. And also, what do you mean we haven't raised kids? I mean, we have enough younger siblings between us to have plenty of rearing experience, and I don't think that there are any capable adults left in this town. Frankly, they are all gone.
Well, there's
I'm gonna go get my
way
mom.
to ignore
Ez's
Gwyn
mom.
and Winfred.
We need some moms, I think.
Yeah.
Step one,
Cypher, go get your mom.
Yeah, Muna is nothing that my mom would even shake a tail at. So,
And Shalati, like your great aunt, like if anybody could make sure that she's really intimidating and scares the hell out of this person instead of like, so she doesn't do anything. She could just like stand there and like give her mean looks if she starts to act up.
Beth seems very upset by the idea of you guys like taking her away. She's like, I took care of this egg and I don't want to be parted with her yet. And she storms off.
If we want to get real technical, and we probably should, there is an adoption process for a reason in this town. Someone needs to be this pretty egg girl's legal guardian first.
Pretty egg girl.
Okay, so we
But mom advice for sure before we head there. Just
mom
advice.
And also,
let's get moms.
Yeah, and if we get the moms on our side, vouch like tabula rasa. She's just pretty egg girl right now.
Yeah.
Like no one can judge her for that. And we found an egg. It hatched a person. Stranger things have happened in this whole wide world.
Yeah.
Debatable.
And, well, like,
Bored out of eggs all the time.
people aren't really going to be afraid of her, I don't think, unless she gives them a reason to give them afraid. Like, that's not how most people are going to respond.
How did people respond to Poppy? Like out of character question.
I think there's largely an apprehension, but Poppy has always been in the context of Salinger, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so it's not a there's not a warmth towards Poppy, but with the group of you leaving town and going out for the first time in the forest and things like that, there's an inherent what's the right word? Because people don't understand necessarily what you're doing, there's an allowance for whatever it is you end up doing.
I mean, the town has not rioted over Poppy yet. And she is... And then she points at her and says, "Well, look at her. She's adorable."
You point to where Poppy should be, but you hear sounds downstairs in the kitchen.
Oh, I was pointing at Luna.
Okay, so let's go get moms.
Probably fine.
Yeah, let's get some moms.
Moms.
Shalati looks over at Esmond and says, "I know Gwen would probably love to mother her, but would you feel okay with that? With letting her know about this? Come here."
Yeah, I'd probably be fine with it.
She calls down after Cypher. "And Gwen, too. And Mrs. Clockright, too."
Do you usually call her Mrs. Clockright?
She doesn't like my family very much, so it's safer.
But she likes you.
I stay out of her way mostly.
You think she's gonna... She was born the same size as, well, most of y'all.
It was a big egg.
She's gonna be huge, isn't she?
Oh, you think she's gonna grow to the size of an Aranakis, like a big one?
This was a concern I'd mentioned at some point.
I would wonder more about it if she didn't look already like an adult. Like
Well,
she is
does
not
look more mature, yeah.
She's not baby shaped.
Well, it won't happen overnight, so, like, we'll be fine. We'll just find out.
She reaches beneath the pillow, takes out the dried fish, and then she very wobblingly manages to stand up on the bed.
Whoa.
It might happen overnight.
Yeah, she is developing quickly.
That took me months to do.
Looks up at her and kind of mimes like stepping. She's gonna get up on the bed next to her, I guess, because she's already passed, and then it's going to like step down carefully, holding onto the wall, and then look back at Muna, and then get up on the bed and then do it again.
She blinks a few times and watches you do this. She looks down at the ground. And then she just starts to tip forward.
She's gonna try and catch her.
Wait.
Roll dexterity saving throw.
Can I use my advantage on this?
Sure. Yeah, she falls forward, just planks forward, and you catch her. She doesn't look shocked. She kind of wiggles her feet a little bit, manages to get them on the ground.
She just hold her up until she gets her feet on sturdier ground than a mattress. Just kind of hard mode.
She's got a really developed sense of trust. Like, that is a really advanced exercise.
Still learning about gravity.
She holds up the fish.
Fish. And then for a moment, a look of intense sadness flickers over her face before she pulls out another one from her pack and then just kind of like starts to demonstrate pulling away the scales and picking the slivers off the bones.
Blinks a few times. And starts doing the same thing that you're doing.
Has she been eating the spine before?
Oh, she's been eating at scales, I think.
Once they're done, she puts the bones aside neatly on the, I guess, on the tabletop and makes like a patting gesture on her stomach and says, "Full?"
Challenger.
I think that's a no.
She pulls out another fish from the pack. And it gives it to her. It says, "Fish."
She takes it.
Salinger, just your name mean fish. Maybe in Sylvan.
No, no, it does not.
She'll learn quickly enough, I mean.
All right, well, I've burned enough time here. I'm going to return to my workshop. I can run to Vithedrian. I can and report this unless somebody else wants to, but otherwise I got to get back home.
I could do it. You or me and Ava can do it.
Sure.
Someone should. Yeah, I mean,
And
he can obviously see that she's not a threat, so.
yeah, hopefully. Who, out of character, did Cypher leave to get the moms? Or did anyone leave?
Cypher's getting the moms right now.
Okay. Okay.
Luna needs mom.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we can wait a day or two before spreading the word.
Well, what if she gets out or something and somebody sees her and, I just...
It's really probably better just to let people know that the egg finally hatched, and that if they see a reptilian humanoid walking around town, that it's normal. Or should not be attacked, at least.
That's a good thought.
Either way, I'll let you all handle that. I'm returning to the workshop. Someone let me know if you need anything. And Esmond will turn, keeping Detect Magic up, because fuck it, I've got 10 minutes, and we'll return to the workshop.
As the room starts to thin out, Sal's going to give a call whistle for Poppy to come out from fooling around with whatever she's doing in the kitchen.
Yeah. Just a moment later, Poppy comes up the stairs, just mouth covered in just all the random stuff she's been eating. Just pause in the doorway. Mona looks at Poppy. Poppy looks at Mona.
I think you two are from the same place. Maybe. Sal's just gonna kind of have a seat, give them some space and see if there's any sort of instinctual behavior between these two creatures.
Poppy takes a couple steps closer. Eyes fixed.
He's got a hand ready to tell her to stop if he needs to.
Muna watches Poppy. She approaches. Muna kind of wobbly. Kneels down. Stumbles a little bit, but catches herself. Plucks a couple scales off the fish. And seems to try to show Poppy how to pluck the scales off. You can see that Poppy really, Salander, you can tell Poppy really, really wants to eat that fish.
The fish that Muna is holding and demonstrating how to clean?
Mm-hmm.
Shalati's still here? We got one more of those fish.
She opens the backpack that's just full of them, which Casey had gotten earlier.
Cool. Good girl, Poppy. And he tosses one to her so she doesn't try to snatch it away from the baby.
Yeah, Poppy leaps there
baby.
and snatches it and eats it. Flips over and lands on her feet and starts to chew on it and gulp it down.
I don't know why I thought it Poppy might be instinctively protective of her based on the behavior of the giant Aronakis protecting that egg, but yeah.
Was worth a shot. I thought that might be a thing too.
At least she didn't try to eat her. That was the worst case scenario. She tried to eat me when we first met.
Did it look like the hatchling was like she was sort of recognized herself in Poppy and was like trying to show her the thing as like a look? Or was it more just someone showed this to me, so now I show it to someone who wasn't here? Can I tell such a thing?
Yeah, probably heard it out. But she looks kind of disappointed. Poppy like turns and starts eating the fish. Or like jumps away and eats the fish. And she looks around. Who's the closest to her?
Probably me at this moment because of the proximity to feeding Poppy and Poppy being very close to her.
She looks to you, offers the fish up to you. Salinger.
I'm Salinger. That's me. That, he takes the fish carefully from her hand that she offered, is food. Here. Food?
Food.
Salinger. Different things.
Secret lies.
Close enough. Did one of you say secrets or lies over and over again to her?
No, not
That
repeatedly.
book Araya was reading.
No. This book is about reservation and restraint and the value of taking care of your soul above your body.
Temperance.
She doesn't like any of my words.
That was one of your words.
Was except that one.
Well, I mean, when she's ready to learn fire, just come and get me, I guess.
Just then, They're in the doorway. Tall and short. Round. Slim. A crowd of mothers.
Yes.
And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Oh,
Roll initiative, Mom.
congrats, everyone. We collectively got a baby.
Summon the mom.
I know.
will
Well,
raise
summon the
child.
moms. The
It was a-
least.
9.5 parents. Poppy's a half.
So I wrote the limerick lyrics to Peach's song.
You have to save it for her.
Yeah. It's only slightly bawdy.
What else did I miss since I only got the very end?
So many things.
I'll just start reviewing the gift chat now.
It was I think that you were here for the biggest stuff with the egg girl, with the pretty egg girl. Yeah.
Excellent session. Chris, you were cracking me up. I was laughing quite a lot. Thank you. I am off to sleep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
No.
Good
I as well.
night.
Oh, it was fun as ever. Thank you.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
Night.